Hi and welcome to bzthoughts. This is episode number 2, Pyaar ka Punchnama, aka romantic relationships. So romantic relationships. Wow. Amazing concept of our lives. Amazing part of our lives. It has a huge impact on most of our lives at least. We have seen people who change after getting into a relationship, who change after coming out of one, who change when they're about to get into a relationship. People who have never been in one, they have an impact just by looking at the people, looking at the friends who are in relationships. Either they want to get in or they want to stay away from it. So relationship is something that has had a huge impact. This is what I believe, that they have had a huge impact in most of our lives. At least 50%. At least 50% revolves around this concept of relationships in our lives. So it's so amazing. So how different in different phases of our lives we would have had different definitions, and each one of us would have different experiences, and they're not the same, right? Like I'll take my example. I've had my fair share of relationships over a period of time, of different kinds, from crushes to relationships which were there for a month, to relationships which were there for a year or so. And every time I've had a different definition. Okay, so when I think the first crush was sorry. So my first crush was when I was in 7th standard. No, it was not for a teacher. It was for a girl, and obviously because the girl was, it was physical attraction, infatuation. Because the girl was cute, and then it went on. They went on to phases where I think there was a time where I wrote shairis and poems and movie dialogues and flirting, all of that, and came a point where you take it into a relationship, and then in a relationship, then you want to get all the attention because you want to feel loved. Matlab you get all the attention, and then that means you try to do things so that you get attention. Well, that didn't work out. Then there came a point where I learned that friendship is more important. Took friendship, and then we then get into relationship. But then that time a concept of commitment came into picture, and I was scared of commitment, and I didn't want to do that. So I was scared of it, and I came out of it. By the time I understood commitment is a very important aspect of a relationship, it was too late at that time. Then over a period of time, when I learned certain other things through different means of friends and their relationships and their advices, then you got into a relationship which did last a bit longer than usual, where there was commitment and there were other things. But initially it is all lovey-dovey and honeymoon period, as they say, and then after a few months or a year or so, things change. Then you feel that we are not the same, we are not compatible anymore, and it doesn't work out. So you come out of it. Then you wonder, what is the actual formula for relationship? I have wondered at least for a few years that what is the formula? Because every time I thought, okay, this is the formula, it would work the next time. No, it didn't work out. Then I thought, this is the formula. No, it didn't work out. Then I actually reached a point where I had a crush on somebody. We were friends, and I had a crush on somebody. I thought, this is working out. I'm ready for commitment, no attention, and all of that. And then I actually proposed a girl, and she said no. And I actually cried at that time. And I was wondering, and only one question hit me at that point in time was, what is wrong with me? Why doesn't anybody like me? Why can't I have a sustainable relationship? What is wrong? Why is it not working out? I really asked that. And then what happened was, when I started my self journey of introspecting 2.5 years ago, in that process, I came up with a question that I asked myself, and I feel this is one question that most of us don't ask, most of us don't look into it, whereas I feel it's very important to look into it. And the question is, why do we need a relationship? What am I looking for in a relationship? How do I see a relationship to be? Now, before we get into the answer of this question, I would request one thing to you guys is, with most of my podcasts, at least all my podcasts, and especially with this one, I request you guys not to have any definitions, predefined definitions, not to have these brackets of right and wrong, good and bad. Let's all see it from a neutral ground. Why I say that is, when we see from a neutral ground, we discover some amazing things about ourselves. Because sometimes when we have defined certain things as good and bad, we try to suppress the so-called bad that we have defined, which is maybe that's something that we want, and try to be good all the time, and we are not happy. So let us not set in anything right now. Look at something very neutrally and see what is that we actually want, what is that we desire as human beings, as individuals. And we will come later to what works for us and what not works for us. Right? So I request you guys with all my podcasts and especially with this one, let's not bracket anything with any definitions, with tags and good and bad and right and wrong. Cool. So coming back to the question of, what is where why do we need a relationship? Now, I recently even asked this question in a different manner in my Instagram, that what do you look for in a relationship? What do you think you need in a relationship for? So people said, for companionship, so to be understood, so that people accept me during my anger times, so that I become a better person, and so that we care about each other, etc. So people do say, when what are they looking for in a relationship? And when you say what are they looking for, is basically is something they want to get out of a relationship that will make them feel loved, right? So if you just bring down and categorize these wants, or what are they looking for, you basically, there are fundamental few things, okay? Like, for example, emotionally you are looking for something emotionally, right? So that is like, somebody cares for me, somebody understands when I'm angry, and loves me even after that. So there's an emotionally you're looking for something. Then there is something like psychologically you're looking for something. You like to have a intellectual conversation, logical conversation. You want to have that. So that is called that is what you're looking for psychologically. Then what are you looking for physically? Obviously, you're a human being. We have hormones. It goes high. So we want to cuddle with somebody. We want to have sex with somebody. We want to be intimate with somebody. Have that love. Have that kind of love. So there is there is something that we're looking for physically. Something like financially. Financially, if you say all down the road of how in dowry, where they give money and you're emotionally financially dependent on that. And then there is what is that, socially, so society wise. So best example for that is marriage. No relationships need to be validated to the world, saying that this is pure, this is that, this is this. But since we are in a society, we need to follow a certain norm, and our families are prefer to be have certain kind of decorum that we maintain. So we have marriages. So these are something that these are there. These are you want to call them needs, wants, what you look for. That's up to you. That's again very important thing is, please don't put in the bracket of right and wrong. Now when I say there is something that you look for physically, most of us suppress that, saying that looking for something physically is so absurd and so perverted. Listen, let's not bracket anything right now. We all have it, but some express it, some put it in a different position, priority is different, and all of that. It's okay, but that is there. So I'm again, don't put this financially, socially, and physically, wants or lookups or needs. Don't bracket them in the good and bad, right and wrong factor. I'm just placing few things that we as human beings look for in a relationship, that we are looking for in a relationship, that we get and we feel loved because of that. So ask yourself right now this question: what are you looking for? What kind it is? Is it a physical one? Is it an emotional one? Is it a psychological one? Is it a financial one? Is it a social one? What is it? What is it for you? Don't say what is right and wrong. You just ask yourself what is it and accept it right now. Okay, so that is what you want. So as human beings in a relationship, we are looking for something that will make us feel loved, or let us make us feel part of something, right? We all always want to be accepted and be part of something. So that is there. Now I feel what happens is, because we are not aware of this, what we are looking for, we get messed up most of the times. Because in a relationship, there can be two or many. The other person is also looking for something, right? Sometimes we are not aware of it. Sometimes we are so into what only we want and we forget what the other person is asking for also. But in a relationship, it doesn't work. It's a balance. Something that we are taking, something that we are giving also, because the other person is also taking and giving also. There's a give and take. But so we need to understand that also. There is a balance. Both of you are giving equal amounts of something that each other needs, or wants, or is looking for a balance of a relationship. So a relationship is a team. Both are giving in something and taking something. You're not alone. Always remember that even you are taking something for the other person and you are also giving. It is important that we remember both, because there are scenarios where we say that I am not giving anything, she's only giving, she or he is giving so much, I am not worth it. We tend to become self-sabotaging, self-affecting. Or sometimes we think I am giving so much, you're not giving anything. Then we put ourselves a level upper than the lower than the other person. So there's nobody who's in upper pedestal or lower pedestal, or upper stage or lower stage. It is equal. It's always been that. And if it is not, then you need to ask, what is that is not working in this relationship? Now, usually what happens is, let's take a very simple example, that one of the person is looking for a emotional, need or a want, and other person is looking for a psychological need or want. Now both people are not aware of it, right? Initially, what happens is, either of the person is trying to woo the other person and make the person feel good. So the initial stages, we are not what we actually are. Most of us, I'm not saying all of us, most of us, we try to be somebody that the other person likes us, right? And try to say that these are my good points, I am a great human being, or these are the, be lovely, romantic and all of that. The other person might like all of this. So you're trying to do that so that the other person likes you. Once the other person starts liking you, then you're coming to your normal feel, and after a few months or 1 year or so, you feel you are not the same. You have changed. So the person feels, no, I have not changed, you have changed. But what has actually happened is, you have tried to woo each other, trying to be somebody that the other person likes, and you don't like it. I mean, you like it initially, and then you feel this is not it. And then what happens is, then you are trying for other person to fit into somebody that you like. Let's say you like somebody who talks intellectually to you, but other person is emotional person. So you want other person to do certain things, talk about psychological stuff, talk about logical stuff, so that you like the person. So you have this image saying that I like these things about a person. You have to be this way, then I will like you. Conditional love. So if you do these things, then I love you. So basically, I have an image of a person who does these things and I will like that person. If you fit into that, then I like you. Well, this is very contradictory, right? True, you have every right to be with a person that fill in all that, right? So you try to search a person who fits into that picture rather than trying to fit somebody who's different into this picture. You don't have to change somebody into somebody that you like. Find somebody that you will like for who they are. Yes, there are qualities that you like. Find somebody with those qualities. What is the point of us trying to fit somebody into something that we like? It's like trying to make an apple into an orange because you like orange. Rather, search an apple. Search an orange. I hope you guys are getting my point. So, the core fact is we don't know what are we looking for. And then what happens is then we see certain qualities that we're looking for and try to fit that person into these qualities so that we like them, so that it works out. And then we say we are not perfect couple. Then we say there's an ideal couple, it doesn't work out. I personally don't agree to the concept of even perfect and ideal. I feel these words are nothing but crap. There's nothing called as perfect in this world. There's nothing called as ideal in this world. This is what I believe. Two people have their own set of weirdnesses. Can you accept those weirdnesses of each other? Then you balance it. If you're not, then search somebody whose weirdness you would like. But trying to change a person to fit into something that you like, how will you be ever happy or the person be happy? Because in a relationship, if both are not happy, it doesn't become a relationship. So relationship, that's why it's a team. It has to be a balance. Only because one is supremely happy and the other person is not, the relationship won't survive. And the impact is later when you have kids and later things. Because for a kid, you two are together. Though you're two individuals, as together, you give whatever you have to give to the child. I won't get into that because I have no experience in that, but I do understand the importance of having a team in a relationship. I think that's where most of us, feel that we are lost or we are not finding the right person. Yes, it takes time, definitely. But I feel you talk to more people, then you see if it fits in. But if you like an apple, search an apple. If you like an orange, search an orange. But don't try to make an apple into an orange. If you feel that's going to keep you happy and the relationship happy, good for you. If it doesn't, how will it help you? It might not. It might never. So it is important that you understand what are you looking for and what is the other person looking for also. Because based on that communication, because on that understanding is how a relationship will survive or will move on or the happiness will exist in that situation or in that relationship. But we tend to forget that. We really do. So that's why I said, for these questions, you need to not have predefined definitions. Ask yourself this question and accept that answer. And see, okay, this is what it is for me. Right? So this is what I need to search for. Yes, I might not find it very easily, but talk to more people or there will be your way of finding out. End of the day, if you're not happy, what's the point? Even I had, I had this issue. So when I came to this question during my learning counseling days, I thought I don't need it. I thought emotionally so I can handle myself, psychologically I can handle myself, socially and financially I don't need it. Um Physically is the only thing, but my morals were like, my ethics were like, I will not be in a relationship just for a physical need of it, you know. And so that I actually became the marriage guy in the counseling class because I used to ask this question all the time. It was one open chapter because even I was going through that phase where my mom was trying to search, pushing me to get married and try to search somebody, but I knew I was not mentally prepared for it. And what changed for me is I understood that I was trying to I was trying to do the same thing, trying to find an orange, but trying to fit an apple into an orange. And I was not sure what I really wanted. I was not sure I was mentally, you know, in the right space to accommodate such a thing, because I knew that relationship is an investment of time, and I had to put good amount of time to nurture it. Relationship is a plant that you need to keep watering it and give it all the sources that you need. But if I am not I'm not sure of what I want, and I'm not sure of how will I handle myself, getting into a relationship is going to be a mess. If I can't handle myself, if I have not sorted myself, and if I get into a relationship, I'm taking a garbage can with me into the relationship, and that is end up going to be even more messier. That's what I felt, and that's the reason I didn't want to get into a relationship at that point. I need to sort myself out. And I feel this is also important that we don't understand. We sometimes feel that a relationship is a savior for us. I'm really upset, I'm all of this, and somebody comes in and he's going to keep me happy, or she's going to keep me happy and happily ever after. If it actually works for you, good for you, but from where I see it, it never works. It is like I'm carrying a heap of garbage and I'm getting into getting into a new place, and I'm taking that along with me, and that is going to create a mess one or the other day. So I always believe that you have to work on yourself first. Know what is that you want, know what is that you have in this one. And first, when you work on yourself, make yourself independent of all of that, and then you search for a relationship, it works. Like I'm very happy and proud of myself for one fact that the last 2.5 years I've got into this journey of self-discovery, and I've worked on myself so much, and I short feel that today I met somebody like M that I'm going to get married to is because that I worked so much on myself, and I was clear on certain things that I wanted, and I was clear on certain things that how I am and what are the things that keep me in peace. That is very, very important, is what I believe in. What changed my thought process to say yes to marriage was very simple, is yes, I have certain things, physical need is there, but the more important need or what I'm looking for in a relationship is somebody who would let me be me and accept me the way I am. Because I felt it was very difficult. I was somebody who was thinking of both psychological and spiritual aspects, and somebody might think I'm crazy. My mom used to think that I might become a saint even. But I was sure that I might find somebody. There were a lot of people during this marriage proposal going on. There were a lot of people who rejected me because they didn't like my looks or something. And again, no judging. Obviously, physical attractiveness you need in a relationship, and for different people have different parameters, different attributes that they like. And even I said no a couple of girls because I didn't find them attractive, or there are other things that it didn't sync with me. So no judging here again. No, nothing right, nothing wrong. But you literally try to meet somebody where it matches, and it matched with them. There were things that I was looking for, and it synced really well uh, with them. And the most important thing is, even when that happened, uh, I was stuck with one thing that always held me, and that was my past. I'll so I had trust issues. I used to never trust with anybody, so I had only trust on myself. So that fear was there. But my friend told me a very simple thing like trust is something that you don't get, it's something that you build. And I agreed to that, it is true. So with full on, I said I will not keep a baggage with me. A simple thing of agreement that M and I came was we will communicate, we'll talk to each other, and when we feel it is going to work, we will say yes. And that's what we did. And from that day till today, we communicate every day. And it's not a it's not a communication where, asking your favorite color, that, this, but a communication where we express and share with each other how our day went and what we felt, and she's allowed me to be me, and I have let her be herself. We've not judged each other. We've shared each other everything, uh, uh, you know. And two things that have kept us together is communication and honesty. And so what I was looking for was to be me, to allow me to be me. I get that from her, and she has a similar need, and I let her be. We both know that we both are giving something into this relationship, and there is a balance. And all of this happens for us. Our formula was very simple: communication, and we communicate every day. And this was a new discovery for me because till now I was having a relationship of different style, and now I'm having a different relationship of a very different thing. And the very important thing is I'm happy. I'm very happy. And it is also very clear, and I think we should all be clear as it is not like she is the source of my happiness and I am the source I'm the source of her happiness. No, we can't be. We are our own sources of happinesses. If I try to make her happy, then it is the same thing of I am trying to be somebody that will make her happy. And if I want her to make me happy, it will be like she's trying to be somebody to make me happy. And it will not be our true selves. It will be just some puppet that we are to make the other person happy. Will we both be happy? No. If it works for somebody, good. But I feel for most cases, doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. Trying to be somebody else to make the other person happy, it won't. I love a Will Smith quote on this. He said on his anniversary that to his wife that I am no more responsible for your happiness. You are responsible for your own happiness. We will share this happiness and sorrow together. We'll share with each other, but we are not the source of it. And it is so true. Today, Em and I share with each other whatever went through or what we feel about something, and be there and tell each other out. And one thing that we do, and I love the most about us, is it's not the advice that we give to each other. We remind each other about each other. We remind, like, I sometimes, get emotional about certain things and I get angry or get upset about certain things. And she would tell me a simple thing like, Bo, is that what you want? Actually, is that going to keep you happy? And such a question helps me to pause and think and bring in my mindfulness back. So, this is what our wants and needs are, to remind us about ourselves, to help us be ourselves. And this works for us. So, what is that will work for you? You would have to know first about yourself, then about your partner, and then know that you both are giving equally to each other to run that boat safely. Now, I know I've had a lot of things that people tell me, you know, relationship and fear go in parallel. So there are a lot of fears that go along with this. One of the things that people also asked me is, and a lot of people told me is, things and enjoy this phase of your life. After marriage, it's not going to be the same. 2-3 years only, this lovey-dovey phase will be there, and everything you'll come to know what reality is. A lot of people have told me this, and I've actually thought about this initially. Then I knew, I mean, at least I know when I introspect about it, or why that happens is, as I said, initially you are trying to be somebody else for the other person so that you are impressed and you like about each other. Or initially you have only seen the good qualities of the person. And now when you see bad qualities, you you only see the bad qualities. What about the good qualities for the reason that you love the other person or you wanted to be in a relationship with the other person? Maybe we don't look at it. Maybe we don't. But even more important fact is, it is something that will happen in future, right? And only because it has happened to somebody else, does that mean it should happen to you? And is it in your control right now? Something that's going to happen in the future? The answer is no. I have no control about my future. Yes, I have control about my actions, how I react to it or respond to it. It's all up to me. But anything that's happening in the future is not in my control. And for me, again, our simple give and take policy is communication, and I'm going to stick to that. That is a strong point. That is our USP. I'm going to stick to that. Communicate it whenever I feel it's not working out. What is yours? You need to find out. About you need to find what is your common language that you will have with your partner. How will you communicate? You need to figure out. You need to spend time for it. Spend time to know the person. Spend time to know what they want, what you want. Spend time for the relationship as a team. And again, I emphasize on the fact, in a relationship, it is two people, two or more people. It has to be a balance. It cannot be that one is giving extremely more and other person is not giving, or the vice versa. So you need to talk to your partner, have that communication. Saying this is this and this is this. And have that respect for each other. For giving and taking either way. Equal amount. To maintain the balance, to maintain that team. That's what's... And why do you do it? It's simple, because that'll keep you happy. That'll actually give you everything that you ever wanted. We have a lot of fears in us. But fear is what? Fear is like of some future that might happen, might not happen. But running away from something, thinking it is better that the event doesn't happen if I don't do it. For how long? If it keeps you happy forever, good for you. Ask yourself honestly, will it keep you happy? If it keeps you happy, good for you. If it doesn't keep you happy, is it worth it? Or is the risk worth it? Why not we try to build something and not get something? Fear is going to be there, but it's not in your control of the future. But what you can build today might help your future, will help your future. A relationship is not just made. Yes, some frequencies happen, you feel that connection is there. A relationship is built. Two people or more people, it is built. Ingredients are given by each individual who's there in that relationship to maintain that balance. And then that happiness happens. And if you feel either way it is not working out, it is okay to come out of it. Because if you're not happy, the relationship won't be happy. As I said, first you need to be happy by yourself. Figure yourself out. Atmanirbhar. Be independent of your happiness. And then get into one. You will sure short find something. Work on your happiness. And it'll work out for you. Remember, relationship is a team. This is what I believe. And I would like to listen to what do you believe in. Do share your thoughts about today's podcast through your comments in YouTube, or you can DM me on Instagram. Either way, if I have a lot of questions, if I have a few questions which are very interesting, I would like to make it another session, part 2 or a Q&A session on relationships. I'm sure you all have a lot of questions. I'm sure you have a lot of experiences to share. Do share. I would like to share it in my next podcast episode. Till then, think about it. Take care of yourself. Be happy. Thank you for listening to today's episode. You can share your thoughts or questions in comment section in YouTube, or you can message me in Anchor or DM me in Instagram. See you soon in the next episode.